की जय, श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री निताई गौर चंद्र प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much, Sanjeev Prabhu, for giving us the prompter for which verse we are doing this week, as you do every week. Hare Krishna. So who would like to start the discussion? Others can join in. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, for the opportunity. So we are on verse Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 23. First of all, thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Babu for training us, guiding us, and giving us this opportunity to share our realizations. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we are on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 23. Updrishtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmaeti chapayukto dehe asmin purushaha paraha. Updrishtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapayukto dehe asmin purushaha paraha. Updrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapayukto dehe asmin purushaha paraha. Portion translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Updrashta, overseer. Anumanta, permitter. Cha, also. Bharta, master. Bhokta, supreme enjoyer. Maha Ishvaraha, the supreme Lord. Paramatma, the super soul. Iti, also. Cha, and. Api, indeed. Uktaha, is said. Dehe, in the body. Asmin, this. Purushaha, enjoyer. Paraha, transcendental. So, overseer, permitter, also master, supreme enjoyer, the supreme Lord, the super soul, also, and indeed is said in the body, this enjoyer, transcendental. Translation. Yet in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. Purport. It is stated here that the super soul, who is always with the individual soul, is the representation of the Supreme Lord. He is not an ordinary living entity because the monists, philosophers, take the knower of the body to be one. They think that there is no difference between the super soul and the individual soul. To clarify this, the Lord says that he is represented as the Paramatma in every body. He is different from the individual soul. He is para, transcendental. The individual soul enjoys the activities of a particular field, but the super soul is present not as finite enjoyer, nor as one taking part in bodily activities, but as the witness, overseer, permitter, and supreme enjoyer. His name is Paramatma, not Atma, and he is transcendental. It is distinctly clear that the Atma and Paramatma are different. The Supersoul, the Paramatma, has legs and hands everywhere, but the individual soul does not. And because the Paramatma is the Supreme Lord, he is present within to sanction the individual soul's desiring material enjoyment. Without the sanction of the Supreme Soul, the individual soul cannot do anything. The individual is Bhukta or the sustained, and the Lord is Bhokta or the maintainer. There are innumerable living entities, and he is staying in them as a friend. The fact is that every individual living entity is eternally part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and both of them are very intimately related as friends. But the living entity has the tendency to reject the sanction of the Supreme Lord and act independently in an attempt to dominate nature. And because he has this tendency, he is called the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord. The living entity can be situated either in the material energy or in the spiritual energy. As long as he is conditioned by the material energy, the Supreme Lord, as his friend, the Super Soul, stays with him just to get him to return to the supreme spiritual energy. The Lord is always eager to take him back to the spiritual energy. But due to his minute independence, the individual entity is continually rejecting the association of spiritual light. This misuse of independence is the cause of his material strife in the conditioned nature. The Lord, therefore, is always giving instruction from within and from without. From without, he gives instructions as stated in Bhagavad Gita, and from within, he tries to convince the living entity that his activities in the material field are not conducive to real happiness. Just give it up and turn your faith toward me. Then you will be happy, he says. Thus, the intelligent person who places his faith in the Paramatma or the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins to advance toward a blissful eternal life of knowledge. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. So, this verse confirms the presence of Paramatma or Super Soul situated inside every living entity. The living entity wants to enjoy, and the Super Soul sanctions and oversees the desires of living entities. Srila Prabhupada are saying that the super soul is not finite enjoyer in the body, but he is witness, overseer, permitter, and supreme enjoyer. So without his sanction, we cannot do anything. All the energy and power is coming from the super soul. Guru Maharaj says in the Transcendental Mellow that the body is functioning normally only because the mercy of the Lord. It can never function otherwise. And in another mellow, Maharaj says that your soul has to get energy from Paramatma. Otherwise, soul alone has no capacity to run this body. So we depend upon him fully. So we are the sustained, and he is the maintainer. So this we have this tendency of acting independently. That's why we are here, and we are called marginal energy also, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned. But the Lord is so merciful that He is with us all the time till we are here in this material world. And He is helping us to remind our real position and our real destination from within and without or outside. As long as we are um, sincere and surrendered, He is giving us this intelligence so we can go to him. So the supreme super soul is very intimate friend of the living being. The Lord is very eager to take us back, but it is us who wants to stuck here and illusioned that we can enjoy here without the Lord. But the real enjoyment is in the loving devotion service of the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So when we employ all our senses in the service of the Lord, then we feel the real happiness and satisfaction. Srila Prabhupada are saying in the end that thus the intelligent person who places his faith in the Paramatma or the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins to advance towards blissful eternal life of knowledge. So, so it is the real blissful life is eternal of knowledge. It's not like they say in here, there is a saying that ignorance is a bliss, but the real bliss is the Krishna consciousness, eternal life of knowledge. When we have knowledge and everything is clear, no confusion, no anxiety, and no stress. Because everything this comes when we are confused, we don't know where we're going or what is our destination. This is all source of anxiety. So the clarity comes when we get this sublime knowledge. And by the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, we are getting this knowledge available very freely. So we should take the advantage of it. So these are the few points that I realized from this verse. Hare Krishna. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your nice realization. We are in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 23. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji. Thank you, Her Grace Purnapada Devidashi Mataji. Thank you, His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Das Prabhu for guiding and training us and giving us a platform to give our realization. Upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyakto dehesmin purushaha paraha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the Supreme Proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as Super Soul. So here in this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna is always with us as Paramatma. Srila Prabhupada explained here that although we, the Jiva, we are wandering different places, different bodies, but Krishna, he never leaves us. He's always with us. He is in our heart as a witness, Upadrashta, watching all our desires, watching all our actions very patiently. Like Srila Prabhupada says that, like how the kind father always observe his small child's activities. So same way, Lord is observing us, He's guiding us as well. So this shows that the Krishna has a deep mercy and compassion for us, that even though we forget Him, we are forgetting Him. I mean, we try to forget Him because we always think that the material thing is always enjoyment and we never think about the Krishna. But He never forgets us. So here in Papa Srila says that Paramatma is the permit giver. He's a Anumanta. We desire to enjoy the material world, material things. But we don't know that we cannot act even without Lord's sanction. Srila Prabhupada says that not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So Krishna is the controller that and all in all sense, in everywhere. So the living entities is that He's always desirer and the Lord is the sanctioner. The Jiva wants to enjoy separately, because separately from the Krishna, because they want to enjoy. And that is the root cause of our sufferings. That's why we are suffering, because we always want to enjoy, but not think about the Krishna. So Sanjay Prabhu already mentioned nicely that real enjoyment is actually a devotional service. So we have to engage ourselves in real, if you really we want to enjoy, then we must engage ourselves in devotional service. The Lord as Paramatma, he simply fulfills our desire to teach us by experience. That independent and enjoyment never brings real happiness. Super soul guides only for the sincere soul. When we become serious in our spiritual life, Paramatma begins to guide us it internally and externally. The externally means he comes as the spiritual master, and the scriptures, like what we are getting all the information from all the Srila Prabhupada's book. And internally, as we always say that sometimes we get intuitions, but that intuition is nothing else but when we are totally devoted and continuously thinking of Krishna, then then the inside the consciousness voice, they can guide us, and that's called, we sometimes we say that we got the intuitions, but that intuition is not coming from ourselves, but it's coming from Lord, because we are eternally servitor of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada says that when we are sincere, devotees is sincere, Krishna gives intelligence from within. Now do this, or now avoid this. That means that's actually Srila Prabhupada has given reference from Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, verse 10. In translations, this material nature is working under the direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So we know that, I know that the Krishna is sitting within my heart, watching everything, and whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm doing, he's more carefully and sincerely. So I had to really think that whatever, in spiritual or material thing, that I must think about, I have to pray, I have to pray every day when I start my day that, dear Lord, you are witnessing all my activities. So I must be, and then please guide me so that my desires may become pure and pleasing to you. But that desire should not have the material desires. Desire should be only to serve the Lord, to become the servant of the Lord. So remember, Krishna is witnessing everything. When we understand that Krishna is sitting in our heart, watching all our activities lovingly and naturally, try to live more purely. So before doing any activity, like when we are speaking or eating or working, wait for a second and think that Krishna is seeing this. Whether he will be happy with this, whatever action I'm doing it. So that one thought makes our life more regulated and conscious. But for that, one has to have practice every day. So if one always remember the Lord, that the Lord is within the heart as witness, one will never act sinfully. In this, Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, verse 23. So, and I must be grateful to Krishna, because he is constantly giving me company, giving companionship. One should not forget that each and every activities he's watching. Even we forget him, Krishna as Paramatma never leaves us. He's witness when I'm struggling, He's protecting, He's guiding us, guiding me as well. So I have to practice every day. End of the day, even I must be gratitude. End of the day, I should say that thank you, Lord Krishna, for being with me all the day. Please help me remember even today, now, and tomorrow. So that needs to. I mean, one should have the gratitude. Depends in that will simply develop our relationship with Lord. Even when we chant the Lord's name, He Lord is in my heart, is hearing every mantra personally. So before even starting the japa, think that, my Lord, you are in my heart. Please allow me to chant in the way that pleases you. So I have to remember that Krishna always. I must think that He's my witness. He's my permitter. He's my well-wisher within my heart. So if I think that, so life will become peaceful. So I had to stop even that when I think that each and every witness, each moment He's with me. So I had to stop blaming others. I had to stop over controlling others. Start living independently, moment to moment, and then Krishna's sweet will come automatically. So this is my realization. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, His Grace Punpege Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing these programs, training us, and encouraging us to study and give a realization on the Bhagavad Gita verses. And thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu and Sopan Prabhu, for your nice realizations on this verse. Upadrashta Anumanta Cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwarah Paramatmeti Chapayukto Dehesmin Purusha Parah. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoy, who is the Lord, the Supreme Proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the Super Soul. So, very important verse. And as devotees share their realization that this verse confirms the presence of Krishna as a Paramatma in the heart of all the living entities. He's also present in non-living things, within the items as well. So it is also confirmed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in other verses as well. Sarvasya chaham riddhisinivishto riddheshi arjuna tishtati. So this point, actually it came into the discussion many times. So this particular verse also confirms the function of actually Paramatma, his role, why he is actually present in the heart of everyone. So I was meditating on that point, that as Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned in the purport as well, that Krishna actually is accompanying all the living entities, all the time in this material world. So as Amrish also confirmed that in spiritual world, there is no Paramatma, there is no need of Paramatma, that actually he need to accompany one who are actually the resident of spiritual planets, because they are already liberated. But in material world, as Srila Prabhupada always mentioned that this material world is very, very dangerous place, the padam chivipida. So actually, as we have also seen in this material world, as a parents, they're always guiding their children all the time, especially they are very small, they are taking care of them, they're actually accompanying them, making sure they are not actually get into any danger. So they are instructing them, training them. So as a Paramatma, actually, who's actually residing in everyone's heart. And he's actually, as it is says, that he's Upadrashta Anumantasha. So he's witnessing, overseeing everything, what we do. And as we know that actually, we discussed this topic actually many moons ago, that the intuition, so Amrish Prabhu very nicely explained, sometime as a lot of people say, a gut feeling. So sometimes you just know, somebody tells you that what to be done, or somebody is guiding you, what is the right thing to do. So people call it intuition, but Amrish Prabhu said there is no such thing as intuition. It's a Paramatma. So even for the animals, when they take birth, the actually Paramatma is guiding them, what to be done for their survival. So same goes with us as well. So actually, Paramatma is always actually guiding us, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned, that he's very eager to bring everyone back to the actually spiritual world, back down to the actually animal kingdom or insects, or even, as it says, the worm in a stool, he never leaves. So that point is very, very material world. You have many relatives, friends, but when you are in difficult situation, then actually you realize, actually who end up in a actually difficult situation or in a dangerous position, or as when you get old, actually children ignore their parents as well, as we are seeing. He's always with you, He gives you. So he's a real friend, and he's always giving instructions. So as a free will that is mentioned here, so Krishna is free to do everything. So as a part and parcel, we also get a small free will, and he never interfere in the free will. But whenever we take a decision, as we know that we always know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing. So it's up to us, he's actually guiding us. He's telling what is the right thing. So even if we make a decision to do the wrong thing, then he's a sanction giver, as Sopan Prabhu mentioned, that not even a the blade of grass, it cannot move without the sanction of the Paramatma. So that is so true, So actually we have so many desires. We want to do so many things. We try to enjoy the material world. So Krishna is actually witnessing everything, all our activities, he's keeping the account. And as we actually discipline the children, he's disciplining us as well, because he wants us actually back to the spiritual world. So as we studied in the previous actually chapters, that as actually as a karma vikarma, using that tool, he's also called the road of chastisement, So actually we also suffer on account of our actually actions. So it is an act of actually disciplining, when we actually suffer, then we realize, oh, this is not the right thing to do, I should not do this. So by many ways, he's always guiding us on the right path. So even actually, I remember this point of discussion that some people actually interested in demigod worship. And Amrish Prabhu mentioned this point, that even if you are actually worshipping demigod, or even actually, any man, actually considering he's the God, Krishna make that man's faith very stronger. So anything we desire, that actually strongly, as Srila Prabhupada, I also actually heard Srila Prabhupada that if you have strong desire in your heart, Krishna will eventually actually, fulfill it. He will sanction that. So it's very important. Now we have this knowledge that Paramatma is there. He's witnessing everything. He's watching everything. Then, as Guru Maharaj said, that actually we should desire carefully, because whatever we desire, as we studied in the previous verse, that's the body we're going to get in the next life. So it's very important, and especially for the devotees, who have actually, who have put the faith in the Paramatma, who knows Paramatma in the heart, he's watching everything. there is no question of actually doing anything wrong or even thinking ill about someone, because all account, you're actually all the actions, everything is actually witnessed. So actually, this is a very important point, actually having this realization that this is also very helpful for our purification. That actually, we have to actually take the decisions very carefully, because everything we do will have the equal and opposite reaction. So this one point actually is very, very important. I realize that actually, yes, that this will definitely help, and Krishna wants us to actually go back to the Godhead. So whatever instruction we get from Paramatma, actually, we have to put that in practice. Sometimes, yes, there is actually confusion between whether it's a Paramatma talking or is this our speculation. Then, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, actually the instructions are giving within as a Paramatma and without, that is in the form of actually the instruction from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, or a person Bhagavatam, that is the actually spiritual master. So you can always approach your guru or your counselor to confirm if you're confused about any action. So all the help is given. So it's up to us, how we take it. And also actually, as also Amrish Babu gave the class, the eternal friend as a Paramatma realization, So that is also very important, especially, I realize that when we go through the difficult situation, naturally, we feel alone sometimes. But just having this knowledge that actually Krishna is there in your heart, and he knows everything, he witnesses everything, and he will guide you, gives you a lot of strength, actually go through the difficult situations. So actually, we are never alone, and no matter actually how hard, we have to fight, we will always find a way with the help of Krishna. So this is very actually important, actually knowledge, actually given in this verse, and this has really helped me in the past as well. And there are many realization, I can one can derive from this verse. Just having that actually, uh, uh, having the actually realization that actually Krishna is always with you, is always going to help us in the to progress, on this devotional path. So that is my realization on this verse. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhu, Her Grace Purnipagna Devidasi Mataji, and Krishna Samarpan Kashyap Prabhu. Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu, Sopan Prabhu, and Sridhar Prabhu. Your wonderful relation. I don't think I've got much to say beyond what you all have said. I'll probably share my own realization. The verse we're studying is chapter 13, verse 23. Upadrishtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapi yukto dehe asmin purusha paraha. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. So the first reaction which came to my mind was that bhakti is all about realizing Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti, Shabdiyate. That's the level we are at. Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and then Bhagwan realization. And when I was preparing note, I saw a lot of topics in a different way, different place, circumstances has been covered on super soul relation. There's so much, because it's very important that how actually things are happening. And my struggle is that I'm struggling to realize this, that I'm not this body, I'm this soul. So when I'm struggling to realize that I'm not this body, the super soul realization is just a dream for me. I'm serious about it. So I have a hope that by the mercy of Maharaj and with all your devotees, nice devotees, that realization may come at some stage. But at the moment, I don't think that's going to happen. It's really bad. Bhagavatam talks about this super soul realization so much. And Bhagavatam, as I always say, means I learned saying all those things from here. So it's nothing that I say. It may sound that I say, but it's not I say. So we have learned that this philosophy, Praharaj said that one verse is enough for you to go back to Godhead. Whenever we read one verse, I am blown away. I said, okay, that's it. One verse is enough for us to go back to Godhead. And probably this is a verse. And when Prabhupada expand these topics in his purports, and when we study Bhagavatam, when we get time to study Bhagavatam, and all those stories, all those pastimes of devotees who have realized Krishna or super soulization, means there's not a single personality, whether it's an asur, danav, or demon, or animal, or anything who has not realized Krishna in Bhagavatam. So what I take it from there, that Bhagavatam is the source for practical application of this big philosophies. It's a very deep philosophy. I don't think it's very superficial. That's my realization. So Bhagavatam gives example of different place, times, and circumstances, not a single personality who has not practically applied. And there are so many situations. We can take any topic and we can go back to that. So that's a big topic in itself. And when last Sunday, when Amrish Prabhu was showing that realization class, and very nicely we discussed about what happened to Prabhupada, what Prabhupada did before going to US, and all those things came up as a ISKCON and whatever. And the struggle, not struggle, but yeah, whatever. And Prabhupada will walk so much and get will get fainted into sun and all those things, and then traveling to US in a ship, goods ship, and then having a heart attack. Means these are stories. These are stories. We just cannot even think that how that happened. But we can comfortably say he's a Senapati, so he can do anything. But Prabhupada has given us example how to apply this concept. That's real austerity. And that's my challenge. So that's, and and I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture on this verse, which I don't know, my wife can also share that lesson, but only I picked up. That's this super soul realization, animals can never have it. Because they don't need to, because they automatically progress to. The human being has the facility, has the senses, or whatever we want to call it. Okay, I wanted to share some verses on that also, that we can have that super soul realization. So if you're not having this realization, then we are animals, as per these scriptures. And even in the concluding verses of Bhagavad Gita, in the chapter, the perfection of, what do you call it? Perfection of renunciation, where Krishna is starting, when he's concluding these instructions, all those bullet points, that Bhagavad Gita, all those bullet points, which are expanded elsewhere. And in this, and when Prabhupada writes in the purport, when he's starting chapter 18, that Bhagavad Gita is actually finished in all the chapters 17. And 18th is only, this is concluding, and probably is giving final instruction. And in that, he talks again of this point, which I would like to refer, and that same thing which I just shared, Krishna is emphasizing. And the verse is, first verse is, means again, he's talking about the Sangha philosophy. We know all these things, Adhisthanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividhascha prithak chesta devam chevatra panchamamam. The place of action, that is the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul, these are the 5 factors of action. Yeah, that is 14 in chapter 18, 14 verse in chapter 18. Again, Sangha philosophy. And Prabhupada writes a nice purport. And when in 16, when Krishna is further concluding, and he's again very hard. Yeah, he's not mincing words, no? And that is Tatravam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyati akrita buddhitvan nasa pashyati durmatihi. Translation. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. This is Krishna's words. Yeah, this is perfect. This is absolute truth. There's no. So, therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, which I just told you, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. They try to look intelligent, but as per Krishna, this is the situation. And then Prabhupada goes further, next step in a purport, with very small purport. A foolish person cannot understand that the super soul is sitting as a friend within and conducting his actions. Although the material causes are the place, the worker, the endeavor, and the senses, the final cause is the supreme, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should see not only the four material causes, but the supreme efficient cause as well. One who does not see the supreme things himself to be the doer. One who does not see the supreme things himself to be there. So, person who are actually atheists, no, this is their philosophy. So, this is a very profound, solid verse. And as I started with that, these all scriptures are basically for us to go from Brahman realization to Paramatma realization to the Bhagavan realization. And how do you take it? How do you apply it? And how do we actually practice it? That's our struggle, because we're all working people, and we all have got their own material, all those three top, which we are struggling with. And I think I'm seriously struggling, because I still cannot realize that I'm not this body. I'm not this body. I'm this soul. So I don't know when I'll realize super soul. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhuji for giving us this opportunity and platform to share our realizations and training us. And thank you all the devotees for your very nice, wonderful realizations. So we are doing today Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, verse number 23. Upadrishtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purushah paraha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. So all the beautiful words, if we see the translation of the all synonyms of the words here. So many qualities here given of Krishna, that and his position as well, that Upadrishta, overseer, Anumanta, permitter, and Bharta, master, Bhokta, supreme enjoyer, Mahaishvara, the supreme lord, Paramatma, the super soul, and Purusha, enjoyer, and Para, transcendental. So his position is so supreme, and we are nothing in front of Krishna, but we always think that, oh, we can enjoy, we have the power, we have this, we have that, little bit of success we get, and we get puffed up, just because we forget that Maheshwara is Krishna, supreme personality who is controlling us. We are little Ishvara, but Krishna is the supreme Ishwar. So that thing always has to be in the mind. And then without, as like all the devotees have shared already, that without the permission of Krishna, Paramatma, not a blade of grass can be moved. And we do something, little bit of it, and we try to get all the, we think, oh, we have done this. We try to take all the credits. Whereas it's just the will of Krishna. It's just the Krishna's permission. Krishna's who are seeing us as a loving father. He gives the permission, then anything moves. It's he's the controller, and everything belongs to him. And within this world, whatever we do, it's just his energies, his supreme will. That whatever little bit we can do is just his mercy. Otherwise, we have no power. Atma has no power at all. Without power of Paramatma, if Atma cannot move. So that thing has to be in the mind. That supreme controller is Krishna, or the Paramatma. Without his permission, without his overseeing us, we cannot do anything. There is also a very beautiful line here in the purport Prabhupada has given. The Lord therefore is always giving instruction from within and from without. From without, he gives instructions as stated in Bhagavad Gita, and from within, he tries to convince the living entity that his activities in the material field are not conducive to real happiness. So, as I think Sopan Prabhuji mentioned, that how without he is giving instructions, like from Bhagavad Gita, or from spiritual master, or from other great devotees. So what I realize here, that instructions, for me at least, I can say that without getting instructions from without, it's very difficult to get instruction from within, because spiritual master or Vaishnavas or the Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, when they actually channelize us, that you read this Bhagavad Gita, you understand, they explain, then we try to look, oh yeah, Krishna is sitting in our heart and giving the instructions. How do we recognize that? Otherwise, we are just in cuckoo's land thinking, oh, it's okay, we are getting some instructions, that's me doing, not realizing that it's the super soul who is giving the instructions from within. So that's what I realized, that from without, when we are getting the instructions from the spiritual master or Vaishnavas, and then when we contemplate, when we try to look within, then we can understand that we are getting instructions from Krishna, who is sitting in our hearts. I haven't got that quality yet, but maybe in future, with the mercy of the Vaishnavas, I will get that opportunity to understand if Paramatma is giving me instructions. And also when I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's lecture on this verse, then there Prabhupada said that many times it is asked that if Paramatma is giving the instructions or he is sitting in the heart, then why people do bad things? So if he's the overseer and he is giving the permission, why is giving permission to do bad things to good people? And then Prabhupada said, because we have got little bit of free will, and Krishna doesn't interfere in our activities. He's just looking like there is also some verse that says that the Paramatma is, super soul is sitting beside the soul, and he's just watching like a bird on a tree, seeing the other bird, what the bird is doing, another bird is doing. So he doesn't interfere in that. It's up to us in what way we want to do. If we want to do something good, or we want to do bhakti, we want to go to Krishna consciousness and free ourselves, or we want to do bad things and then just go deep down the mire of this material world and never come back. So this is just the explanation, and this purport is really, really so, Prabhupada's purports are so nice, self-explanatory. Very nicely explained everything here. So my take is from this verse is that what how can I just realize super soul? What do I do that I can get that I can recognize that instruction? Super soul is always giving the instructions, but it's my folly that I can't understand it. And then why? And then how to come out of this thought that doer, I'm not the doer. It's all Krishna's or super soul's instructions, and he is the one making me to do things, and not the wrong, in the wrong way, but of course if it is all good, Krishna always has the better plan for us. We just have to have faith. Sometimes something bad happens and then we think, oh, why did it happen to me? Why did God did that to me? But it's just our karma. And then if we have the firm faith, then we will realize later on that this thing which we were thinking has the bad effect on me, actually he was saying me from a very big something very big which bad could have happened to me. So if we have that faith in Krishna, then we are saved. So that is my realization for this verse. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing your point of view in the form of realizations. I agree with most of what has been spoken, in my humble opinion, and I do not agree at all with some of the things which have been spoken. We are an institution. I'm trying to run very hard to ensure that we are an institution. We discuss like a university. So, as I've given in the past examples, that the university may have a particular course, and each college has a particular way in which they teach. So you go to one college, the same course is taught, other college, the same course is taught, but different flavors are there. They're all good. They're not criticizing us. Yeah, everything is perfect. But in our personal case, in Hare Krishna WECAN, this is very important for me. And I want for all the preachers who are in the Leaders Sangha, you should be very particular about this too. When it comes to anyone, we are very merciful, forgiving, forgoing, tolerating, till the time that we find that the knowledge that has been taught is either not understood properly after so many years, or there is some extra knowledge coming from somewhere else and getting diluted in our knowledge. This is not acceptable. So the first thing that we teach people, first thing that we serve, anyone walks into our program, is that they see Krishna is there, I'm here, oh Krishna, I love you. That's it. And we tell them, we give them 2 tight slaps, first of all, after giving them prasadam and some sweets, and then 2 tight slaps are given. So, you rascal, you are saying, Krishna, I've come, I've arrived, I love Krishna. Before there are so many people, cannot you see them? These people who have arranged for this prasad that you are eating, you don't see them. This is how very basic beginners program people are started. But this should not come in our Leaders Sangha. We have never taught to pray to Krishna directly. We have always taught a Vaishnava is very, very, very forgiving, and he is very, very, very dependent on other devotees, other Vaishnavas. Of course, we have to be very careful about whom do we depend upon, but generally speaking. So, praying to Paramatma directly every day, whatever it is very good. You can do that, perfectly all right. But that is not what we have taught. There is a role for all others. They take efforts. Before we see Krishna as mercy, we must see other devotees mercy. And in Leaders Sangha, I should not be teaching this. I would rather speak on big, high philosophy rather than this basic stuff. Others who have not understood this, then you must keep your eyes and ears open. You are all preachers. You must know where there is dilution taking place and where it is not. I take very good care to make sure that all of you are like cows and calves, so we give best grass to you. Just like we had discussed many moons ago, this Kartik is going on, Kartik month, that Mother Yashoda would feed a particular kind of grass to Nanda Maharaj's cows, particular herd of cows. And then she would take out that milk and give to Krishna. She was that particular. This is the mood of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. And that mood I have picked up. And we are very, very particular about these things. So my only request to all other leaders is this, that do not be naive. you should be very alert when philosophy is discussed. This is an Easter Goshti program. It is not a program where everybody prepares, you speak and you go home and go to sleep. We are learning from each other. That is called Easter Goshti. We sit together to understand the philosophy. Because any dilution, if we allow it, first drop dilution, more will come. I do not know where this has come from. But this point, we are completely dependent upon Krishna. That is correct. So we must think, ask ourselves a question. Is it because of Krishna we met devotees? Or is it because of devotees we met Krishna? I would like to say this much now. Hopefully, we will be very particular about these things. That's why we say we study Srila Prabhupada's books in the mood of His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev. Exclusively. So, this particular point, whenever it will be raised, wherever it will be raised, I will call it out. In ego, you will not see me standing beside you because it's very dirty. But this will not be tolerated. And I want all others to be keeping their eyes open and see where there is dilution taking place and call it out. Rather than saying it's very good, thank you for your lesson, very nice program, very good realizations. What is not is not. Otherwise, our full preaching, our whole parampara is going to be by Bhagavad Gita. How will it last if you allow small dilution to take place? Somewhere else knowledge comes from and add it to our program. We don't want any added program, added knowledge from anywhere else. Thank you very much. Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Yes, I'll talk to you. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. What synonymous translations and purport was Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Tell me.
Sorry, Prabhu, I disturbed you.
Hare Bol.
I wanted to update you about some development happening. So if you want, I can talk now or?
Not now, because I spoke something very, very critical.
Yes, you did, Prabhu.
So we should not talk of anything else that will dilute my criticalness. Is it adding to what I just said now?
No, Prabhu. No, it's about activity,
Then why should we speak right now? It will dilute my discussion with. I want all of you to carry this message first. You speak to me separately.
Okay, Prabhu, no problem.
Okay, Hare Krishna.